Oh my God! That shit. You two the lie, eh? Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put them for top. Hey! You are lying. Get out your
Are you here? Forget everybody, yeah?
My guy.
Put some respect on the goat.
On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tama.
Every year, we get you back.
We are talking about PET. I want some Yaji face.
Except be the goat, huh?
My guy, he be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomo Bitters always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18, nor recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
Have you attained 45 years and older? Notice blood in your stool, a family history of cancer? Then don't wait to have a colonoscopy. Early detection of cancer and effective treatment save lives.
There are weak points in the development and spread of cancers of the large bowel that will have control over to stop, to reduce the incidence and deaths from these cancers. Achieving this success depends on you and me. We are fully prepared. What about you?
Visit Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center today or call us. Mintuba Hospital, First Ghana Colorectal Center, in to serve a peculiar health need.
Yeah. You know what it do? Let me tell you something. On the 6th of March at the Children's Park, the time is getting nearer. Come and let's worship God, children. Come and let's praise God. It's Get in Worship at the Ekwa Sutherland Children's Park on the 6th of March. It's Independence. Come and let's dance. Powerful musicians will be passing through. Gospel musicians to help us celebrate and worship the God. Children, get ready. More surprises are in the box. Bouncy Castle will be there. You will jump on it. Trampoline will be there. You will jump on it. There will be mats. You will sleep on it. To God be the glory. You know what they do? Ever.
To inspire.
Baba Jama,
Hello, good evening. Welcome to this edition of the show. Thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure. 24 minutes past the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. It's always a pleasure to come to you on Good Evening Ghana. Well. What is happening in Atebubu? Did you hear what happened in Atebubu last weekend? Well. What devastating news we all woke up to. Those of us in third world economies. We woke up on Saturday morning to the devastating story that after 40 years of trying and after several decades of negotiating between Iran, the United States, allies of the United States, and indeed the United Nations, that one American president, Donald Trump, I believe is 48. Is he POTUS 48? Can you check for me? 47 POTUS has decided to press the button. Donald Trump moved American military to attack Iran. Before long, we were told that Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, has actually been killed in a massive bomb attack in Tehran, the capital, where he was having a meeting with his top security aides. 24 hours later, we were told by international media and indeed the White House press corps that indeed 49 more of senior topmost advisors of the Iranian administration, by and large military, have also perished. It became a big conversation, and I've received WhatsApp messages from different groups in Ghana, and it makes me wonder whether the Iranian revolution was a political ideology or whether it was a theocracy. You will observe that many of the left-wing people in Ghana and other parts of Africa, in the academic halls, in international universities in London and the United States, have all been somehow in support of the Iranian regime. The Iranian regime is supported by the left wing, and to a large extent, many right wings don't agree with that. I think I need some education on whether the Iranian regime is a political, ideological regime or that is a theocracy. It appears to me quite clearly that it's a theocracy that is run by priests and run by people who have a God-given right to rule as it is understood by their people. Khamenei, the Iranian supreme leader, was taught by his people to have a divine right to rule over them. How that fits with democracy is the conflict and the story of Iran since 1979. Indeed, in 1979, Iran moved from a monarchy into a theocracy. Both are not democratic. America has been trying to insist on democracy in the Gulf region, which was largely ruled by monarchs. Even in Libya, Colonel Gaddafi it was who overthrew King Idris and ended the Libyan monarchy. Gaddafi ruled with what they call an iron fist for a very long time until he was killed as part of the overhang of the Arab Spring. Then there was Iraq. Saddam Hussein overthrew the Iraqi monarchy and became very powerful. He enjoyed massive and tacit support from White House in the United States throughout his 1980s war with Iran. Saddam Hussein eventually fell on the wrong side of the United States. He was killed by an attack on Iraq on the excuse of Saddam Hussein harboring international weapons. So that also ended. Israel is one of the important democracies in the region. Israel organizes a British parliamentary-style democracy with the prime minister, who is the head of government, and they also have an executive head of government. Benjamin Netanyahu has been Israeli prime minister several times. If you watch the democracy of Israel, it kind of mimics the one with Italy. In Italy, they change prime ministers frequently. Israel also does that. That political system brings that out. So that's what has happened. My question is, the Iranian regime, was it a political ideology or it was a theocracy? If it was a theocracy, why do we find a lot of left-wing political ideologists and ideologues supporting Ayatollah Khomeini? I'm saying that because I've received WhatsApp from left-wing people who are sending me cries of Israeli civilians who are saying, Iran, we beg you, we are sorry, Iran, we are sorry. I don't know whether you've seen some of those videos. Whatever it is, if you keep a close monitoring of international media, as I'm doing right here on this iPad, you will find that the war is becoming more intense. It will appear that the response from Iran has been stronger than was anticipated. Initially, the Americans had taken it because they had taken over, they had killed the Iranian leader. Now, we all don't know what's going to happen. For us in Africa, we have been assured here in Ghana by the National Petroleum Authority that when these disturbances happen in the Gulf, it's always about petrol. National Petroleum Authority assures Ghanaians, and it's a very good assurance, that we have at least 6 weeks of import cover for petrol and 7 weeks for diesel, or is it the other way around? That was a very refreshing statement from the NPA. We anticipate that the war should not last that long. Donald Trump, the American president himself, said the war will last between 4 to 5 weeks. Hopefully, it should be shorter than that. The resistance from Iran is massive, and for the first time in our world, I'm thinking that at the end of this war, the world will look completely different from what it was before last Saturday. Dubai, the safe haven, is now a place where people have to run away from. It's a place where no one wants to go or no one can go, and people are running away. It appears that only private jets are flying out of Dubai. So for the majority of people who do not have private jet, the overwhelming majority who do not have private jets, what do they do? We're seeing also other safe havens also overrun by war and terror. What is going to happen? Is there a difficulty for us in Africa, and how do we identify? Somebody told me that in terms of petrol, we shouldn't be worried because the West African sub-region, as in the Gulf of Guinea, has significant supply of the product because Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian business mogul, who is also Africa's richest man and is also the richest black man in the world, has a refinery that refines about 500,000 barrels of crude oil every day. The story is that the Nigerian president, Bola Tinubu, has given Aliko Dangote significant control over crude from Nigeria. Dangote, therefore, does not need to import crude from the Arab world. He has crude in Nigeria, he can refine it, and he can share with Ghana. It means also that the West Africa gas pipeline, which is one of our foremost sources of energy, will remain intact. That's a bit of good news, but we should still keep praying about what happened last weekend. We are a fringe country in terms of the big global powers, but it may also affect us. Many years ago in 1990, when the US went on the first Iraq war, we were affected. When the US went in the second Iraq war in 2007, we were affected. It was devastating. Prices went very high after the war, and President Kufuor, the president of the day, had to actually do a nationwide broadcast where he announced the new prices of cooking oil and 5-kilogram bag of rice. J.A. Kufuor, you can search the video, in 2008, held a presidential broadcast to the nation where he advertised what ought to be the price of cooking oil and the price of rice because it was getting that bad. In 2008, the American stocks completely went down. It aided Barack Obama's campaign because it looked like the right had collapsed, capitalism had failed, and everything was cracking up all over the place. Barack Obama rose to power in 2008 on the back of these difficulties. We hope that we don't get into these difficulties now because the world is a bit more sophisticated than it was in 2008. Well, let's see what happens. Tonight, we have many stories for you, don't we? Let me get into my notes and see. Baba Jamal won, didn't he? I like the song that they're singing. I have a story for you on Baba Jamal. Then I also have another important story to share with you, and I call it, Will Their Anchor Hold? Will their anchor hold in the storms of life? And I'll be explaining a few things about this. These are our own editorial. We've been working on it for the last few days, and we can now put it together for you. We wanted to share it with you last week, Thursday, but we didn't have the time and resources to do. Today is ready to come. But let me get onto the touch screen now. Okay, so I don't have anything on this computer. Let me get onto the touch screen now and see what's up. Good evening again, viewers, and a big welcome. Did you watch football at the weekend? Guess what happened to me? Chelsea got beaten at the Emirates, and I was in serious trouble. But I'm fine now, isn't it? Alhaji, Ramadan Kareem, you have done it again. Nobody can take the seat from you. Alhaji has won. Alhaji Baba Jamal, he's completely won the seat. He won by 63%. Never mind that it's a reduced margin from the election 2024. We all know that by-elections don't have the same margin, but I've not been to Nima. I had a crew there. They'll be coming into the studio, Tornado and the other guy. They'll be coming into the studio to tell us what happened in Nima, why the voter turnout was lower than expected, even though in a by-election it's like that. Well, Akutia was not lower than expected, was it? And even though Musa Dankwa had predicted that he will win by 75%, he actually ended. Has he ended? I think they are still finalizing, but it's looking like 62, 63% for Alhaji Baba Jamal. So we have a story on Nima. What is the essence of Nima? What lessons do we draw from Nima? What questions do we have to ask the NDC from what has happened in Ayawaso East, the Nima constituency? Okay, so Baba Jamal, we'll come back to him in a bit. We are still putting our stuff together. Our reporters have just arrived from Ayawaso East, so they are putting stuff together. We have a lot for you. You know that our story will be told in a very dynamic way, isn't it? Let's get to Nimoy Thompson. I'd like to show you Nimoy Thompson. And I'd like to say something about him. Since I started doing this Good Evening Ghana show 24 years ago, something like that. So those of you who are 22 and watching me, the program started before you were born. I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. But Nimoy Thompson has been one guy that you have to respect. I mean, back in the day when I was working in Radio Joy, he was one of the regular voices on economic stability and what the economy is doing and all of that. He had just come from America with a PhD and sounds very intelligent. And then I took time to visit him in his Dansoman place and we talk and all that. Nimoy Thompson is a very sharp guy. When I heard that he was being considered for Minister for Finance under President Mahama, I was completely delighted. But Nimoy Thompson has done an excellent job at the NDPC. Nimoy is the first professor to come up with a 40-year development plan for Ghana. Somehow, the legal situation does not help the NDPC's work. I have noticed that in Kwesi Prempeh's recommendations for constitutional review, I think they put something in there about whether a minister can secure resources. No, it's of Kujo Oppong-Nkrumah. Kujo Oppong-Nkrumah is putting a private member's bill in parliament. The Ofuasi Arebi MP, Kujo Oppong-Nkrumah, he's putting a private member's bill in parliament. And in that private member's bill, Oppong-Nkrumah is asking that parliament should not approve money for any project that the NDPC has not confirmed that it's a good project for Ghana. And I think that he's trying to enhance the work that Nimoy Thompson did. If we were to take Nimoy Thompson's work seriously, we should be getting very far. For Nimoy Thompson to leave his economics and get upset and pencil an article in all the online and the media, then you have to know there's a problem. And Nimoy Thompson is a left-wing politician. He's an Nkrumahist. And that's a conversation. You know me, I like talking to the left-wing people. I'm unrepentant. How do you say it? Unrepentant right-wing. Yeah, okay. The reason why I'm right-wing because I believe in God. You know, right-wing is God. Conservative is God. The other people, yeah, okay, no problem. But I like talking to left-wingers because They usually have great philosophies to share with you. I mean, they can't convince me on my principles because I believe the God of Abraham, I believe in the Trinity, and God is conservative. You know that. I mean, these left-wing people, they also have this philosophy that there's no God and that religion is the opium of the masses, which was once said by Karl Marx, their boss, and so they've carried it on. They don't go to church and all of that. Yeah, that's a different matter. But I believe in big business, small government. That's why I'm right-wing. I believe that businesses should grow. I believe that Ghana should have about 100 people who are billionaires. I believe that the governments must come to power and decide that when I came to power, there were 10 businessmen who were doing 100 million. By the time I was leaving office after 4 years or 8 years, those who were doing 100 million are now doing 100 billion. That's what I think will change the story of Africa. Look at what Aliko Dangote has done. It's not because of Nigeria. It's not because of Ghana. It's because of Aliko. So you see, this socialist mentality that we should all come down. It's not we are all. God has given different talents to different people, and people should be allowed to express themselves in their talent. Because of Aliko Dangote, and because of the support that he got from the Nigerian government, today there's war in the Gulf. But we are comfortable that Aliko can refine 500. Aliko is one person. He's not Aliko's books will not be the perfect one. If you want Ghana Revenue Authority to go out after Aliko, yeah, you can get him. If you bring Manasseh Azuri now, that you should go and investigate Aliko Dangote. Oh, he'll bring plenty things. But is that the reason why we should kill Aliko? If Nigeria had killed Aliko, today where are we going to get petrol from? They are bombing in Iran. This is the point that we have been making forever. That governments are there to show. So when Akufo-Addo left government, we should bring him to parliament and say that, Mr. President, you were president for 7-8 years. What Ghanaian businesses did you develop? Akufo-Addo will have a lot to say. He will have a plenty lot to say. If you bring President Kufuor, he will have a lot to say. Mr. Kufuor, when you were coming to government in 2001, the GDP of Ghana was 4 billion. By the time President Kufuor was leaving, the GDP was 16 billion. That's the story that we have to tell. I don't know about the rest. I don't know, please. I don't know. But I know that when President Kufuor came to be president, we have the water. Hey, give me this one, and let's come back. Let's take this one. All right, sorry, let me finish my story on Aliko Dangote. So because of Aliko, because of Dangote, we can talk like this in the whole region. How many countries has Dangote saved? It's not Nigeria alone. It's Ghana, it's Cote d'Ivoire, it's Senegal, it's Togo, it's Cameroon, it's Gambia, it's probably Mauritania, it's Burkina Faso, because we had one Aliko Dangote from Nigeria. If Ghana had another Aliko Dangote, we will go very far. And this is always the philosophy with which we, the right wing, push the political agenda. It doesn't have to be NPP or NDC. Let's have a political agenda that treats our jewels well. Those who lay the golden eggs in business. And business is what will help us to change our story. If philosophy is good. Yeah, philosophy is good. Law is good. Political science is good. But what will really change our story is entrepreneurship and the creativity in business. That's what will change our story. That's the story of the United States of America. When Donald Trump became president and he needed to move America forward, he had a meeting. Who did he have a meeting with? The captains of industry. He didn't have a meeting with his ministers in cabinet. No, he had a meeting with the captains of industry. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of them, they were there. Elon Musk, they were there. These are the people who hold America. Who is holding Ghana? The Ministry of Finance? If it's a Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana that's holding the country, then you are finished. Because in America, it's not the Federal Reserve that holds America. It is Bill Gates. It's Jeff Bezos. It's Amazon. It's them. They are holding America because America allows them to grow. In this Heritage Month, I'll be looking at historical Ghanaian businesses and be investigating why they collapsed. I'll be bringing you that story, and I'll be doing modern Ghanaian businesses. Today, I was reading something on social media. I saw Suleiman Brahma says, KGL and NL. They are desperate to pull down KGL. Ghanaian company that has facilitated what NLA is doing. I don't know whether they have done something wrong, whether they haven't done something wrong, but that's not the point. If a company has done something wrong, and this is the fight that we were fighting in 2018, 2017 over this bank collapse thing, we were concerned, and the videos are there. You can look at it on Good Evening Ghana. We're concerned. Why are you pulling the bank down? If the bank has done something wrong, leave the bank to work. You can take the people to court. So this issue about individuals growing is the problem between the left wing and the right wing. So whereas Nimoy Thompson is left, I get the sense that he understands, because he lived in America, I think that's where he studied, he understands growing private enterprise. But anyway, so that's the end of the Dangote story. Let me come back to Nimoy Thompson. So if Dr. Thompson takes up an issue that is not directly connected with economics, you have to know that he's very angry. So I was reading the papers and I saw Nimoy Thompson talk about this, the history guy, not Anoche. He's usually on GTV. He speaks well. Do you have his photograph? Anoche. Anoche, I had observed, had a penchant for delivering history that is wrong, completely wrong, blatantly and manifestly wrong. When I tried to research on him, I understood that this was about Alex Kwesi-Nsaky. I understood that he was in class with Alex Kwesi-Nsaky's daughter in Legon when they were both studying law. I'm not sure, I don't know. But Anoche, I respect him a lot because he's older than me. That's very, very important. When people are older than me, I respect them. I respect Anoche because he's older than me. But he churns out a lot of blatantly false history. And you can tell, this is very controversial, I'm going to say it, you can tell that his penchant for the history churning out is a hatred for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo has suffered, though. This man, he hates Akufo-Addo with a passion. So he comes out, all his history is determined to show that somehow the actors of the UP tradition did not like Ghana, they don't deserve to be part of Ghana. And for a lawyer, he's a lawyer. Nimoy Thompson is not a lawyer. He's a lawyer. Anoche is a lawyer. And he churns out such blatant, dishonest history. I mean, okay. So I have spoken about him. But you know, in Ghana, sometimes when you say the same thing about somebody, people get tired of it. So I stopped talking about him so that it will fester. People will see it. Thankfully, everyone was sending me the article. Nimoy Thompson has spoken. Nimoy Thompson has spoken. I said, what did he say? He said he was talking about your man, Anoche, the things that you've been saying. Let's go to the article. This is by Nimoy Thompson on his Facebook page. And he goes as follows. So who will save Ghanaian history from Anoche, from the Anoche guy? Nimoy, I'm here. I will save Ghanaian history from Anoche guy. I'm here. Nimoy, I'm here. So who will save Ghanaian history from the Anoche guy? Hardly anything that the man says is true. They are either exaggerations or outright fabrications. This Nimoy Thompson talking, he's an Nkrumahist. Anoche is not more Nkrumahist than Nimoy Thompson. Nimoy Thompson is an Nkrumah. He's a left-wing politician. Maybe he'll say he's center-left, but he's a left-wing politician. He's an Nkrumahist. If I say that Anoche is wrong, they will think it's an ideological battle. It's not an ideological. Anoche is usually blatantly wrong. No facts. I mean, we churn out history as well. People have had problems with the history we churn out, but nobody can say we have churned out something that's not fact. Many years ago, we said Nkrumah never won a presidential election. Everybody said KK. Nkrumah himself said he didn't win a presidential election. Now, nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody comes to us and says, oh, you were right. No, we don't even want that. We are here to educate, to entertain, and inform. That's fine. We are okay. So we churn our history. People may disagree with the outcomes, the conclusions, and the analysis, but nobody can say that anything we said has happened in Ghana's history on this program did not happen. Everything we said happened. And that why is it so? Because we draw it from the books. We draw it from the 1960 Constitution. We are not imagining something in our head. We draw it from the document. We draw it from books people have written. And that's how we put the history together. But here's Anoche. He sits on GTV. And he will churn out all kinds of things that are not true. Okay. So who will save Ghanaian history from the Anoche guy? Hardly anything the man says is true. They are either exaggerations or outright fabrications. Want examples? He goes on. He says the United Party UP was formed to contest the 1956 election with the promise that those who wanted to break away will be allowed to do so after independence. The UP, in fact, was formed after independence. But this matter is very straightforward and very simple. Why was the UP formed? The UP was formed because the political parties had formed themselves in a way that threatened Nkrumah because he thought that it was sectional. The NLM, the National Liberation Movement of our uncle Bafo Akoto, had been formed for Ashanti hegemony and cocoa farmers. The NPP, the Northern People's Party, had been formed by Dombo and Mumuni Bawumia for the Northern people's rights and Northern people's things. The Mashimokwe Party in Accra had been formed to protect the rights of the Gans. Nkrumah argued in Parliament that we are looking for a united Ghana. In those days, Nkrumah was arguing with the opposition on the federalism thing. The opposition wanted federalist authority, and Nkrumah wanted a unitary authority. Unitary is one country without a federation. We don't have time to go into that. You can just Google federalism and unity. If you're a young man, just Google it. Federalism and unitary states, you get the difference. So the opposition was arguing for a federal state like the United States of America or perhaps like Nigeria, where Ashanti will be their own government. They'll have a governor. They'll vote for him. He's the governor there. The laws of Ghana, some of it will be taken Ashanti, some will not be taken. In some instances, Ashanti law will override the national law, like driver's license, etc. There'll be a government in Tamale, Northern Ghana. There'll be a government in Sekondi. There's a government everywhere. And then there's a central government in Accra that looks over all of it. That's a federal one. That's what the opponents wanted. Nkrumah didn't want that. Nkrumah wanted a united Ghana, a unitary state that will then foster African unity. So these parties that were formed with tribal connotations were worrisome to the African unity agenda of the Osajefo. So it was then that Osajefo brought a bill to Parliament. Anoche is a lawyer. Anoche is a lawyer. A bill, this whole UP thing was occasioned by a bill that Nkrumah sent to Parliament. It is called and it's entitled, please, if you are young, write it down, Avoidance of Discrimination Act. This was the bill that went to Parliament. It's in all the books. Just Google it. Avoidance of Discrimination Act in Ghana. It will all come. So Nkrumah sent a bill entitled Avoidance of Discrimination Act, that we don't want political parties to be discriminating. So you cannot have the National Liberation Movement, whose objective is Ashanti hegemony. You cannot have the Northern People's Party, whose objective is to protect Northerners. You cannot have a Ghana party, whose objective is about Ghans. This was the purpose of the Avoidance of Discrimination Act. So as soon as the act was passed by Parliament, all of these parties fell foul of the law. They fell to the left-hand side of the law, and they were not allowed to operate as political parties henceforth. It was this reason that brought Bafo Osakoto, Kofi Abrefa Buzia, Dr. J.B. Dankwa, and all of them, Mumuni Bawumia, Jato Kalio, Abeifa Kabu, sitting together in Kumasi and planning to resolve this thing. I think there was Modesto Apalu was also there. He was also, maybe not Modesto, but his brother, Apalu, from the Volta region. So they came together and said, okay, Nkrumah doesn't want us to form different parties. We will form the United Party and we'll defeat him. This is the point of the United Party. How then did the United Party come before 1956? Anoche, a lawyer of so many years. Anoche is 30 years or 40 years at the bar. How can a lawyer make an error like that so that an economist will be correcting him? Why, Anoche, why? Why? You woke Nimoy Thompson out. He's thinking about Ghana's economic development. He's thinking about National Commission for Economic Planning. He's planning the economy. You have to force him out to come. Anoche, why? He says the United Party was formed to contest the 1956 election with a promise that those who wanted to break away will be allowed to do so after independence. The UP was in fact formed after independence. Straight away, it was definitely formed after independence. November 1957, to be exact, a month ahead of Nkrumah's Avoidance of Discrimination Act, which aimed to ban sectionists, tribalists, religious and other divisive political parties or groups like the Ga Shifimokwe, which joined the UP when it was launched on 3rd November 1957 at Bukom Square, Accra. Ghana attained independence on 6th March 1957. Hello. Nimoy Thompson is very interesting. He says, I'm not sure why. Why? Okay. Nimoy Thompson continues. He claimed on another occasion that Akua-Adjei dictated the petition for the ex-servicemen. A bunch of, sorry, viewers, some word had been used that I need to look at it well. He said, he claimed on another occasion that Akua-Adjei dictated the petition for the ex-servicemen. Into brackets, Anoche called the ex-servicemen a bunch of drunkards. He said, I hope this is not true. But that's what Nimoy Thompson is reporting. I've not seen Anoche's article. Did he call the ex-servicemen a bunch of drunkards? I apologize on his behalf. The ex-servicemen cannot be a bunch of drunkards. Anoche, his language is bad. Bunch of drunkards, pa. I hope he didn't say that. Anyway, but that's what Nimoy Thompson is reporting. To Kwame Nkrumah, who wrote it down on a piece of paper he placed on somebody's back. After the disturbances on 28 February 1948, according to this historian, the white people noticed that the petition was in Nkrumah's handwriting, so they arrested him and others who denied any knowledge. Now, Nimoy Thompson corrects it. This never happened. Nkrumah's only comment about the event in his 1957 autobiography was that he was aware of the association and had been contemplating getting them to associate with the CPP. His political advisor, George Padmore, says in his book, The Gold Coast Revolution, that no one in the UGCC helped initiate his word, the demo, the closest they had come to the ex-servicemen's association being a time before the demo when Nkrumah and Dankwa addressed them at a rally. Who then signed the petition, you may ask? That credit goes to Mr. B.E.A. Tamaklo, leader of the very sober ex-servicemen, supported by his executive. The response to the petition from the governor was addressed to Mr. Tamaklo, as was the permit for the demo. This is all public knowledge from the proceedings of the Watson Commission. Why would anyone tell such a gratuitous and gargantuan lie? Viewers, you see the point? Nimoy Thompson draws his analysis from the Watson Commission. But a lawyer, a trained lawyer, is drawing his analysis from gossip. Gossip. Anoche, hatred for Akufo-Addo is hatred for Akufo-Addo. Anoche's hatred for Akufo-Addo has gone through the roof. So he's making mistakes, and his own left-wing people are correcting him. Anoche is telling blatant lies. You want to tell history. It is written down. I mean, I was not born in the 51 election, I wasn't born. 54 election, I wasn't born. We have been encouraged to read all those elections. 69 election, I wasn't born. 79 election, I was small. But we have been encouraged to read all that. In fact, 1992 election, I was born. I was 17 or so. But I have to read it. As for 2024 election, I was there. Viewers, we're all there, were we not? 2024, we're all there. In fact, 2020 crowd, we were there. 2016 crowd, we were there. 2012 crowd, we were there. So, if you want to gather historical accounts, don't you read it from a document as a lawyer? Oh, Charlie. His biggest lie is that his biggest lie that got me recently as an avowed Garveyist, that's Marcus Garvey, with some 40 plus years of Garveyism under my belt, was his claim that Anton Wilhelm Amu, a Gold Coaster who became a prominent German philosopher in the 1700s, coined the name Black Star, and Marcus Garvey later adopted it in the 1900s. Nothing could be further from the truth. Anoche has lied again. He goes on. For one thing, Europeans typically called Africans Afrikaans, not blacks, which was and is more common in the Americas, taken from a Spanish cousin, negro, meaning black. Amu himself wrote primarily about Africans and Moors, and while he might have been a good philosopher in his time, his work in German might have limited his exposure in the Americas. According to Tony Martin, the foremost authority on Garvey, after touring the Americas and realizing that black people, including those in Africa, were always at the bottom of the economic pile, whether they were in the majority or minority, Garvey pledged that he will not rest until he made Africa the black star among the constellation of nations. That's the first time the term was used. He will go on to found the Universal Negro Improvement Association and establish the Black Star Line, Black Cross Auxiliary, and the Black Empowerment Effort, including the promotion of Black God and Black Jesus. Nkrumah, who states in his autobiography that the book, Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, did more to fire his imagination than any book he read during his days abroad, honored Marcus Garvey's memory by establishing the Black Star Line for an independent Ghana and gave it the ubiquity that it occupies in our lives today. That's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. That's beautiful. When I said that's beautiful, isn't it? I thought I sounded like Donald Trump. You know, he likes you saying, oh, that's beautiful, that's nice. You know, Donald Trump, that's American president. That's really beautiful history. Young people, are you beginning to enjoy the history? Are you beginning to read the history? You need it. It's very important. As a nation, we all need it. The other day, some presidents said they should stop learning history. Everybody sees me in the street and say, is it true? Is it true? But why did they stop learning history? Oh, but they shouldn't have stopped learning history. Well, I didn't make the decision. There's some president and his cabinet who made the decision that we should stop learning history. Okay. I can go on and on, but let the records show that most of what our historian friend palms off as history are totally pro-Marx. Media houses should host professional historians, or at least people who are honest with historical facts to save Ghanaian history. Development is history. Our very development is at risk, especially on those occasions when his fabrications create needless disaffection towards certain ethnic groups. It's bad for Nkrumah's nation. It's bad for Nkrumah's nation building agenda. Anoche. Oh. Well, viewers, I had to bring this to you. I'm not sure what we'll all do with it, but I had to bring it to you. Are we ready with the Nima story right now? Okay, let's get back onto the other day. Anoche, good night. Please, let's get the facts right. We all love you. This way of doing the history, I don't know whether it works. But, you know, we all have people we don't like, people we may not like. You may not like somebody, he becomes president. You can't do anything about it. You know, when John Mahama won the elections, he won 57%, okay? But there were still some 41 people 41% who didn't vote for him. But it doesn't mean that they should be disturbed that he's president. We are all happy that we have a president. So the fact that you don't like Akufo-Addo and he became president, what is the problem? You are also a lawyer like him. Go to the Supreme Court and achieve. Akufo-Addo achieved so much before he became president inside your platform, the court. You too go and achieve it. If you achieve it too, Akufo-Addo did to for an attorney general. Which one did you do? J.H. Mason, attorney general, MPP and GBC, the obligation of the state broadcast. Akufo-Addo did all that in the Supreme Court. What did you do? Oh, let us come with this. Anyway, no problem. Dr. Bawumia, do you want me to take this? Let me take the Bawumia photographs. Baba Jamal, day after. Tonight is Baba Jamal. Tonight is full Baba Jamal. So Dr. Bawumia told us that he had the privilege of welcoming a delegation from the Christian Council of Ghana, led by Reverend Enoch Nina Thompson, who graciously called on him to share their goodwill following his re-election as MPP's presidential candidate for the 2028 election. Here in Dr. Bawumia's house, Lahal Haji Muhammadu Bawumia in this chair, Christian Council. I see my friend Homeni at the back, very articulate young man, one of the aides of Dr. Bawumia, very, very sharp young man. This is the incoming president, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. Reverend Intim Fojo, the incoming minister for defense, also addressing the audience, and the controversial appearance of Koku Anyidoho, even though Koku is now an executive member of the Christian Council. So he went there in that capacity, but everyone was reading meanings into it. They said Anyidoho has crossed carpet, he has joined MPP, Oh, Ghana people. Anyway, so this was the group that visited Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, the MPP flag bearer for the next election. All right, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, the minority leader, also held a blistering event at the British Council Hall where he articulated the right-wing situation. Sorry, let me. This is Osahene Afenyo-Markin and his wife. In the photograph also is Farouk Aliu Mahama, former MP for Yendi, and incoming MP for Yendi again, son of our former Vice President, Alhaji Aliu Mahama. That's Alex Markin and his wife over here as well. This is the legendary, the very distinguished Professor Michael Kwe, former Speaker of Parliament, who was also, I'm sure he thoroughly enjoyed it. This is lawyer Osei Bonsu, who is also an important chief in Chebia, Farouk Aliu Mahama. Here you have the lecture was chaired by the Honorable Hakman Uswajima, who told a beautiful story about how he met Afenyo-Markin. Justin Kodia, the MPP. I believe this Rita Soba here. Is that him? Is that her? And then here you have also the lecture. We are going to go deep into the lecture and go and sit with Alex Afenyo-Markin for him to give us some more information about the lecture. This is the aide of Nana Akufo-Addo, former Minister for Information, Hajia, who was also at the British Council. Did I see Kofi Konadu Apreku? Oh, yes, that's him. Kofi Konadu Apreku was also there, and the students were there in their numbers. The ISE who hosted the event were there with Alex Markin. There is the arrival of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, looking spectacular. Everyone, you look at the photograph. Look at the photograph. So this Akufo-Addo security, forget about them. Now look at the rest of the people. Put the photograph directly. Let me show. So look at the Akufo-Addo security on your right. Forget about them. And then behind Akufo-Addo is Fawaz. Now look at the rest of the people. Look at the man on the top left of your screen. The guy in the white shirt. Look at his gaze on Akufo-Addo. You will see that people look at the students at the back. Look at the way they are smiling. This is how you evaluate politics. Niteko Tego is not even seeing what I'm saying because he's looking somewhere else. He's always looking somewhere. Niteko, you are looking somewhere else. Why? Okay. So you can tell that the people are very excited to see the very distinguished Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the 5th president of the 4th Republic, pushing almost 83. Yeah. Look at the way he looks. Anyway, that's Nana Addo in a warm handshake with Alex Markin's wife. And then this is the MC for the event. That's the high table. Alex Markin, Nana Akufo-Addo, Hackman Uswajiman, Lawyer Osei Bonsu, Captain Koda, Fawaz, Mohammed at the back. And then there's a continuation of some of the audience at the British Council. It was a fantastic event. I was so sad I missed it. I would certainly have been there. Okay, so Alex Markin delivered a brilliant, spectacular speech. We'll be looking at that. Asensu Boache is here, MP for Bantama. Alex Markin is speaking. This is Hajia and Hackman Uswajiman, Nana Akufo-Addo. Oh, Nana B was there, of course. And that's Nana B. Nana B is there. Kojo Oponkroma, the MPP superstar. And then Alex Markin shaking hands with people. Franklin Kujo. You see, Franklin Kujo is Imani right wing, so he had to be there. I've seen his post talking about telling us what conversation he had with Akufo-Addo, etc., etc. I like the way Francis Asensu Boache looks very clean. Nice guy. MPP people, they are looking nice. Oh, well, okay. Oh, that's Professor Domfrey. I've been talking to him about having an interview with him soon. I'm sure he'll be here soon. So these are the photographs from the MPP event that was held at the British Council Hall. It was a lecture by Osahene Alex Afenyo-Markin. All right. It's now 10 minutes past. Is it 10 minutes yet? Okay, it's 5 minutes past the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. All right. Baba Jamal's results are fully in now, and he has been elected the MP for Nima, Alhaji Baba Jamal. We will now get to the details of that matter. Let me take some text messages and reconnect with the producers and see what new story has come in so we can pick it up. All right. So I start with Fatih, isn't it? Okay, Fatih, what are people saying?
Right. Thank you, Paul. So coming from Gastiman, he says, why does lawyer Ameche hate Nana Addo that much? When individuals use platforms to distort the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah or twist Ghana's history to settle political scores against parties like the New Patriotic or leaders like Nana Addo, it affects how our children understand their country. History should educate and unite us and not divide us for political gain. Media houses must ask tough questions and ensure balanced discussions. Let's demand responsible journalism and truthful conversations for the sake of Ghana's future. Kingsley Nana Amako says, please use your medium to tell Ablakwa that he shouldn't go writing any dirty things to Trump like he did some months ago. We don't want any troubles here. Justin Benzema says, kindly bring Hassan Bello to give us insight into the America-Israel attack on Iran, the causes and possible repercussions for economies in Africa. Yeah, February says there is assurance that we have enough war to last for 6 weeks and some time from Nigeria. Do not mean there would not be shortage of war as US has projected the duration of the war against Iran. Also, the price of fuel will go up in the world market and Ghanaians will not escape the hike in the fuel. Bennett Danso says, hopefully you'll bring Hassan Bello to do a touch-screen presentation on the happenings in Iran and the genesis of the Israel versus Iran war. And lastly, coming from Ali Obama, I have been a supporter of right-wing political ideology and a strong believer in the United States of America for many years. However, I strongly disagree with President Trump's support for Israel's attack that killed the Iranian leader and dozens of others. In that assault, many civilians, including students, lost their lives in what I see as a cruel and unprovoked strike. Thank God Iran is not like Iraq, Venezuela, or other nations that cannot stand up for themselves. My support is with the Iranian people in this difficult moment. See you, Anthony.
Very much, Fatih. And we have just a few more messages left. Coming from Nana Loud, he says, watching from Dubai, where we cannot fly back home. Edward says, Paul, why do you think Israel is a democracy? He doesn't seem to agree. Yao February saying, today's show is very educating. And lastly, from Yao February, he says, looking at how Mr. Anoche is misleading Ghanaians about the history of Ghana, not all those who heard him will hear the clarification given by Mr. Thompson, so the same way they will also broadcast the misleading history to others. In the end, the future Ghanaians are the people to be polluted with such misleading Ghanaian history. And that will be it. Over to you, Paul.
All right, I have an LPM from Fatih to read. Fatih, tell us the LPM. What do they want us to buy?
All right, so this is Pepsodent LPMs, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter toothpaste. Every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives you teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. This prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsodent Cavity comes in 175 grams, big family pack. They have the Ajakwa pack that is 120 gram, 65 and 12 gram sachets. And you can always get what you can afford at any time. So don't just use toothpaste to brush your teeth. Use Pepsodent that protects your teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for over 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free, so you can call on 0800 161 000. I repeat, 0800 161 000. To talk to a dentist free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you, so call our customer care center on toll-free 0800 200030. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Now back to you, Paul.
All right. Let's get on the touch screen as we start the Baba Jamal story. And you know, viewers, this story is very important because it indicates something. You see, when the Baba Jamal story first broke, and he was talking about he was being chastised for distributing TV sets. You know, in the local parlance, they say that some things cannot be hidden. You can try to hide them, but it will expose itself. They usually use the female pregnancy for that adage, which says that you can hide what you want to hide, but it will expose itself. You see, the NDC have come from an opposition where they were lambasted by civil society for many things. And tonight, there are two stories we're going to do that will show you something. The NDC have been very concerned to maintain their relationship with civil society and to also get a certain image for themselves. Whereas they know that they don't want to do that because they think that it helps the voting, it helps the image of the party. They are very desperate to pander to what they think civil society may want. So in the wake of the Baba Jamal crisis, when videos came out that Saturday morning that he was distributing television set blatantly doing what many political primaries do in the dark. Baba Jamal was doing it in the daylight, the broad daylight, blatantly doing that in the broad daylight. Alhaji Baba Jamal. And so the NDC felt embarrassed that perhaps their characterization is going to be destroyed, that the thing Baba Jamal was doing was going to destroy their image. So in trying to respond as though they were in opposition to civil society, they published all kinds of statements. So we'll go through them and see which one has stood the test of time. Baba Jamal, who is an avowed member of the NDC, a deep member of the NDC, at the weekend I had a long conversation with an NDC activist who was telling me about Baba Jamal and all that, and was correcting some of the things I had said and adding some to mine and all of that. You know, when people listen to my show, they take time, they call me and they say, I listened thoroughly and you said this and you should have said it like this, and Baba Jamal, you gave him too much credit and blah, blah, blah. All that has happened. So I had a good conversation with the guy. Now, Baba Jamal was then hanged first by the government. This is what the presidency, the president of Ghana, who is tomorrow going to witness, maybe tomorrow, maybe the end of the week, going to witness an addition to the member of parliament from his party. The president's addition to member of parliament from his party is the person the president wrote this about. Now, check it out. So this is 7th February 2026. President recalls Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria. It says, President John Dramani Mahama has directed the immediate recall of Mohammed Baba Jamal Ahmed from his position as Ghana's High Commissioner to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The decision follows allegations of voter inducement in today's National Democratic Congress primaries in the Ayawaso West East constituency, in which Mr. Baba Jamal, a candidate, participated. In his directive to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, recalling Baba as High Commissioner, the President noted that while the allegations of vote buying were made against multiple candidates who contested the primaries, Baba Jamal was the only serving public officer among them. The President has also noted the public statements by the General Secretary of the NDC indicating that the party has commenced its own investigations into the allegations arising from the primaries. Without prejudice to the ongoing internal party processes and strictly in view of the standards of the conduct expected of public officers, the President has considered it necessary to act decisively to preserve the integrity of the public office and to avoid any perception of impropriety or conflict with the government's code of conduct for political appointees. This is a very important paragraph. Let's take it again. The President considers it necessary to act decisively to preserve the integrity of the public office and to avoid any perception of impropriety or conflict with the government's code of conduct for political appointees. The recall takes effect immediately, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs has been directed to take the necessary administrative and diplomatic steps to give effect to this directive. This is what the President of Ghana said about Baba Jamal. This is what he said. I'll come to Parliament in a minute. Let me stay with the President. Now, if the President of Ghana writes this about a member of the party, his appointee, his ambassador in Nigeria, he writes this letter about him, all of us Ghanaians, all of us, don't you expect that this should be the end of Baba Jamal's campaign to be a member of parliament, and therefore that this code of conduct will now serve as a boomerang effect and get all public officers working under President Mahama to sit upright? This is what this letter is intended to achieve. This is what this letter is intended to achieve. Today, this letter failed woefully to achieve it because the NDC is NDC. You can't do anything about it. You can pretend and write this nice English. And what did they say? Preserve it. What did they say? The President considers it necessary to act decisively to preserve the integrity. My goodness. This is the President acting decisively to sack Baba Jamal as ambassador in Nigeria. Later on, Fifi Kwete questioned this statement and said that the lady, the widow, the husband, rest in peace. The widow too is a public appointee. The General Secretary of the NDC found occasion to question the President on this one. He did. But if a president has written this about Baba Jamal, we all should expect that if things are working right, then this person about whom this is written should not see the light of day. 50 years from now, if students, researchers, take this letter and they read it and they find out, but the guy was still elected, they will be confused. If 50 years from 70, 100 years from now, they are looking at the history of Ghana. That is what settings mean. When they say settings, this is it, settings. They knew that nothing will happen. They knew that they can't do anything because Baba Jamal will point fingers right back at them. That you, Mr. President, they said you shared 40 CDs. You are writing about me. The person who signed the letter, Felix Kwame Ofosu, is a member of parliament from Abra, near Atofosin's place. He's the border. Has he not shared money, Felix Kwame Ofosu, who is the Minister for Government Communications? Has he not shared money at the foreign minister that you are asking him to take a decision? He's a member of parliament from Norton. Has he not shared money there before? So what are you going to do, Baba Jamal? That's settings. Hypocrisy. Settings. The settings. So if 100 years from now, students take this letter and they still find out that, so after the 7th February letter, on 28th February, the guy won the election, they will be laughing in the room. They don't understand it. But this is the problem. There's a lot of deception sometimes. A lot of deception happens sometimes. So this was the president. Then Parliament, taking off from the president's signal, then put this up. This is Parliament. They went harder. Okay. Majority Leader Mahama Yarega, 8th February, the day after the president spoke, NDC Majority Caucus in Parliament calls for the cancellation of Ayawaso East constituency primaries and the disqualification of the candidate. It starts, paragraph 1. The members of the Majority Caucus of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in Parliament has become aware of a widely circulated allegations of vote buying in the just concluded NDC parliamentary primary in the Ayawaso East constituency in the Greater Accra region. Paragraph 2. The caucus wishes to strongly condemn these developments against the background of the agenda to reset the politics of this country. Paragraph 3. After extensive deliberations on the matter, the core leadership, as well as the extended leadership of the caucus, has resolved to communicate to the Functional Executive Committee of the National Democratic Congress as follows. That the primary of the NDC organized in Ayawaso East constituency be annulled immediately. That any candidate who participated in the said primary and has been established to have engaged in this unethical conduct be banned from participating in subsequent primary after annulment of the election. The NDC Majority Caucus remains committed to restoring integrity to our politics. This was the NDC Majority Caucus standing on the moral high ground that they wanted to establish integrity in the local politics of Ghana. Good work. But because it was settings, viewers, can you imagine these harsh words used on Baba Jamal? The caucus wishes to strongly condemn the development. After extensive deliberation on the matter, the core leadership as well as the extended leadership of the caucus has resolved to communicate to the functional executive as follows. That the primary of the NDC organized Ayawaso be annulled and that Baba Jamal be banned. Baba Jamal be banned from any other election. If students read this 100 years from now and they find that the said Baba Jamal actually proceeded to win the election, they will wonder, what is happening? They will wonder, were the politicians of the day not walking their talk? That's what they will say about all of us. That, this Ghanaian politician, and then no journalist who was able to say, they will say all that. Then they'll go on the video. Let's check. Is there any video in Ghana in 2028? They will find the AI will by that time have gone all over. AI will be the air that they breathe in those days, 100 years from now. AI. They will pick everything. They will pull this video. They will watch it. They will get everything. And this is the legacy that we are living 100 years from now. 100 years from now. The Ghanaian children will come and read this letter and will still wonder that, in fact, they will argue with each other. The one who doesn't finish the research, who leaves the room at this letter, he will assume that Baba Jamal did not contest. Then they'll tell him that, the guy won the election. Check the list of parliament, 2028. You will see his name there. Baba Jamal, Ayawaso East. Then they'll say, but how did he win the election? What happened? What happened is what we are living today. Dishonesty. Settings. Dishonesty. That's what we are living now. How can the parliamentary caucus that wrote this about Baba Jamal? On Friday, Mr. Speaker will be announcing, honorable members of parliament, we have a swearing-in ceremony to swear in the new member of parliament, Alhaji Baba Jamal Ayawasu East. Is Mahama Ayaga going to say, yeah? Are they going to say that? We are waiting for them. We are all going to the parliament. When they bring Baba Jamal in, and he has won the election, so he has won it. When they bring him in, and they are swearing him in, will they say, yeah? After writing these things about him, when they were writing these things, did they mean it? Did they really mean it? Well, that was the parliamentary caucus. Then there was the NDC party. Was that the NDC party? Okay, maybe we can, for lack of time, we can just show the video of Fifi Kwete announcing why their hands were tied behind their back because there's no time, and that if they annul the election, something, so they couldn't annul the election, and that they didn't have time, something. Look at Fifi Kwete.
That's what we said already, that we want to encourage that the president showed the same sanction that has been, the same thing that has been done to Baba Jamal. The same thing should be done to any other who has been found guilty, who is in a appointed position, because that has to do with the code of ethics as far as the government is concerned. As far as the party is concerned, that's what we said, given the constraint of time, we clearly have no option but simply to go ahead with the result that we saw, because there's no way we can change the result. We cannot get the candidate tomorrow, so we are compelled to go back in. Ideally, we have had to annul, and we simply cannot do it because of the real time and also
So I noticed that, we noticed that we are not only people thinking this way. Wafa Musa Dankwa is also thinking the same way. You have to understand that Musa Dankwa has an interest in this matter. He has to protect his polls. And producer, let me know whether you get the one I sent you recently so that we can use it to conclude. Musa Dankwa wants to protect his polls. He had given a polling figure of Baba Jamal losing heavily. And then Baba Jamal had won. No, this is just, no, not this one. Yeah. He had given a poll figure of Baba Jamal losing, and then Baba Jamal won. So when Baba Jamal won, he was concerned. He had two battles to fight. How to redeem his conversation about being a great pollster who is always predicting things right. Having predicted the Muhammadu Bawumia one right. He was now clutching at straw, and he said that it was because Baba Jamal had paid people. Well, fair enough. Now, we disagree with Musa Dankwa on that, because as a pollster, he ought to have known that there will always be inducement, and it is to be expected that he will factor in the inducement into his analysis. So this was an analysis he got blatantly wrong. Pollsters get analysis wrong. Even Professor Hinchman, is that his name, who had predicted American elections correct from 1980, got it wrong in 2024. So we understand that. It doesn't mean he's a bad pollster, but he must also admit that this one, he got it wrong. He shouldn't make excuses for it. He got it wrong, blatantly wrong, manifestly wrong. He's gotten another wrong today, but I'm coming to that. So on this post, though, we agree with Wafa Musa Dankwa, because he says to the NDC, as a party, they, the NDC, should have withdrawn from the race, taking the moral high ground, and allowed the candidate, Baba Jamal, to go independent. You can agree with that. But because what they were doing was settings, you see, they can't punish Baba Jamal. That's what they all do. Why are they going to punish him? So this is Musa Dankwa's expression, which is what we agree with. That is what happened. Okay. Now, an MPP communicator, his name is Inoko Finyako. He's always after Musa Dankwa. Now he's posted this. Okay. So he says, this is Musa Dankwa's prediction. Global Info Analytics. Ayawaso East by-election final poll. He gives Baba Jamal 75.3%, indicating that Baba Jamal was going to do better than the NDC candidate. Now, this is where I fight with Musa Dankwa. As a pollster, he knows that by-election will not necessarily record the same high turnout. This constituency especially is a stronghold. You see, when you have by-election, that is not a stronghold. It's a swing, seat. That's when you have tough by-elections. When the seat is swing, Ayawaso West Wogon, NDC has won, NPP has won. So you go to Ayawaso West Wogon, it's going to be brutal. This Nima seat, NPP have never won it since 1992. The closest NPP came to winning it is when we wrote the Kofi Wayo campaign in 2000. Many of you watching this may not have been born. But in the year 2000, I was an integral part of Kofi Wayo's parliamentary campaign. Indeed, on the night of the announcement of the results, I was right there in Nima police station. I was standing with Alhaji Hudu Yaya, who left the room after the presidential results had been declared in favor of Professor Mills. When Alhaji Yaya was leaving, he was then General Secretary of the NDC. I said, yes, but why are you going? He said, oh, but we won the presidential. I said, but why don't you wait for the parliament? He said, but there's no way you people can win this thing. I said, Kofi Wayo will win. He was laughing at me. He said, Kofi Wayo will not win anything. Kofi Wayo was all over the place. He had a pistol in his body. He was all over the place. Inside the Nima police station. I was right there. How many years ago is that? 24 years ago? We have become old, though. 24 years ago, I was there. 2000 December. This must be December 8th. On the 9th of December 8th. Nima police station. I didn't take photographs. I didn't have phone that can take photographs, so you can't see it. I was there with Kofi Wayo. So I understand the Nima dynamics. Alhaji Yaya, the NDC boss, he was leaving. After they counted the presidential, they count that one first. After they counted the presidential, because he was worried that the Kofi Wayo activity may affect Professor Mills. So he got the Professor Mills results. He took his phone, called somebody and said that Ayawasu East is down. They should count it as down. I don't know who he was speaking to. Then he left. And I was following him. Oh, parliamentary, you can't win. So the votes were counted and Kofi Wayo did extremely well. But he died. He passed, unfortunately. He was a 37 medical doctor, military man. Isa Mustafa. Yes, Mustafa Ahmed. He was the elected MP on the occasion. Very decent man. Nice guy, pa. Yeah. So he won the seat that night. And Kofi Wayo came very close. Since then, the MPP have not done anything in Nima. So Nima is a safe seat for the NDC. So if you are Musa Dankwa and you are predicting Nima in a by-election, you ought to know that the by-election, the people, they won't come. NDC will win. It's a straightforward NDC's constituency. This is as good as Keta. Nima is as good as Keta. It's as good as Norton. It's as good as Southton. It's as good as South Dai. It's like that. If you go and do a by-election today in somewhere in Ashanti, the voter turnout will not be great. So Musa Dankwa should have known that the voter turnout will not be as much. But whilst he knew that, he yet predicted that, let's get back to the results. He predicted that Baba Jamal will get 75%, which is more than what the NDC got in the 2024 elections. How can any pollster predict a bigger victory for the winning party in a safe seat in a by-election when the numbers will not be the same? I don't understand. But they say Musa Dankwa is the best pollster, so we accept it, don't we? For now. We accept it. But this analysis is purely, it's not getting logical. Because you know that it's a safe seat, one. You know that it's Ramadan, two. You know that as well. You know the demographics of Nima, and you know what Ramadan means there. Then you know that it's a safe seat. Then you know that the MPP didn't put up a big fight. Then you still predict that Baba Jamal will win more. Maybe he was trying to make over to Baba Jamal, having predicted against him the first time. Maybe he's trying to make overtures to Baba Jamal. We all do that. It's fine. When I fought Musa Dankwa, I made overtures to him. He came here, I apologized to him. So maybe he's trying to make overtures to Baba Jamal for the future. I don't know. Because Baba Jamal is powerful. He's going to be the majority leader very soon. I said that. Majority leader. I said that again. Majority leader very soon. I said that again. Mahama Yariga, we are coming after you. So 75% he predicted. Then he said the MPP guy will get 21. Then he said Umaru Sanda Mohammed will get 2.7. This morning, when I heard Umaru Sanda, my heart jumped for a minute. I thought it was my friend lawyer Umaru Sanda at CTFM who was contesting the election. Okay. Then 0.4 Ibrahim Idrisu and 0.2 David Kano. Now, this is what, get me the text here. This is what Enoch Kofi Nakun wrote. He said, according to the results, Baba Jamal garnered about 10,000 votes, representing 63.33% of the total votes. His closest contender, Baba Ali Yusuf, of the New Patriotic Party, pulled 4,000 votes, representing 23.45% of the total votes. Is that all? He said Baba Jamal was going to say something. He was talking about how Baba Jamal was, how Musa Dankwa was predicting high for Baba Jamal, and it didn't quite happen. So yes, Musa Dankwa predicted very high for Baba Jamal. It didn't quite happen. This again is polls gone wrong. I mean, it's true that Baba Jamal won, but the dynamics and the analysis should tell you something about the work that was done. Well, for Musa Dankwa, this one, you didn't do a good job. You always do a good job. This one, you know that there's by-election. You know the votes will not be much. And you yet predicted that Baba Jamal was going to win higher. If you wanted to make overtures to him, you can do that on the phone or by WhatsApp. You don't have to torture all of us with polls that you know that we now trust and tell us these things. It doesn't work like that, Musa Dankwa. Sorry, this one, you didn't get it right. All right, let me go to the guys who were on the ground in Nima, and they'll tell me what actually happened this morning and what eventually led to the victory of Alhaji Baba Jamal. Ronaldo, so what time you get there?
Yeah, so I leave out somewhere around 6:25. Where I contact my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and meet for somewhere around Alaska.
Alaska in Nima.
Alaska in Nima.
Okay.
Yeah, where Baba Jamal go casting votes.
Yeah.
So we plan how we go do them.
Okay.
So the plan be say we no go take car. We for walk because Nima be corners. We for walk there.
So you walk on the ground?
Yeah, walk on the ground. So say we go find every place, then see whatever they go on. So we start with Alaska, pass down to research, from research to Nuria, then Tausilia, then we come back to St. Kizito, observe 1 or 2 for there, then go back to Alaska. Because now the say Baba Jamal day there, they can't casting votes. So as they can't casting votes, we go there, we go observe the thing 1 or 2, then we see say plenty people did there. But then the media, they won't find out whatever they go on. All cameras they Baba Jamal in top because of what happened the last time.
So this is the video.
Yes, what happened the last time. So we don't want to see say what happened, it will happen again or you know
what I go share
you go share something or you know go share anything. But then as we did fasting inside there, you know see nothing go happen.
People are not supposed to eat.
Yeah, people are not supposed to eat and stuff. Where you know go give bribe and things, so that one there nothing happen for them.
Okay, but what they do to get people to vote? I understand that when the thing started, people don't know the vote, but they happened to get them to vote, which was very good. How did they do that?
So the agent, then they on ground. The agent they on ground. Then they enter house to house because for Nima everybody know everybody for there. So the agent go house, say you go house 1, house 2, house 3, call people. So they know say this house maybe be 5 number of people. Then did the house. This house will be 10. This house will be 3 people. Where then get everybody in record, everybody in name. So your agents go enter this house, then pull people. I beg you can't vote. But then as at 2:30 something, we enter place called Godson International School, just around Kandaye. Where then they expect 658 people say make them can't vote.
How many votes?
As at 2:30 something, 200 people can't vote.
Oh wow.
So I asked say but why would they expect 650 something? When the guy say as they enter the house, the people say that they fast. Where that time then for sleep. So around 4, 5 thereabouts, that be the time people
wake up.
Where then they can't vote. Where the election for
end
go
at
over
5.
or if for end at 5. So you go see say as at now people one of our correspondents still they see this thing. St. Kizito, that be where they compare everything. The coalition, the coalition center. One of our presenter did it.
Okay.
She did it. She said they no declare it.
As at now.
As at now, they no declare.
Oh, but it's such a wide margin. Let me come to you, Shaibu. Why is the declaration taking so long?
Well, as at we left the ground around 8:30, and by then they had collected only 66 polling stations
out of how many?
113.
Okay.
So by now I think they should be close to 100 or maybe beyond 100.
But it's 10:35.
Yeah. The process has been.
And if they say that so the figures that we got is from the NDC, is from Tanko.
No.
Tanko
This
computer.
is the provisional
10,000.
results.
I see.
Yeah, this is the provisional results. So outside what the NDC is doing, there are others who are also collecting the results, and then.
But I like the people who were singing that song. Please, producer, get me that song. Let's watch it. Ba 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 Jamal, something like that.
Well, but.
I like the verb of those young people who were singing ba 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 Jamal. Okay. So low turnout. Why is it the same reasons I was giving on the touch screen? It's fasting time, it's a by-election, it's a safe seat for one party. Could it be that?
For me, I wasn't surprised there was low turnout. Because historically, there has always been low turnout when it comes to the elections, by-elections in Ghana. I can only think of maybe the Akwete by-election, where maybe the numbers were a bit okay. When you look at the NDC by-election, for instance, in 2019, that is a polling station that has about 62,000 total voters. By the end, you had only 17,000 people voting. In 2020, you had around 50,000 people coming out to vote in that constituency. Then again, in the 2024 election, you also had around 40,000 people coming out to vote. Then you look at the place like
you said 20,000.
No, I mean more than 40,000 people coming out to vote.
More than 20,000.
More than
in
20,000.
Nima.
No, not in Nima. I'm speaking about the Ayawaso West, which was I'm using the numbers.
Example of Ayawaso West Wogon.
Ayawaso West Wogon. The numbers in the by-election.
Yeah, what was the numbers in the real election in Ayawaso West Wogon? Is that what you said?
Yeah. In the real election, the numbers was more than 50,000.
In Ayawaso West Wogon.
In Ayawaso West Wogon.
Then in the by-election.
But then in the by-election, it was only 17,000. Then you go to a place to like Ejisu, for instance. Ejisu in 20.
The John Kuma by-election.
Yeah, the John Kuma by-election. In 2020, the results, the total voters over there was around 82,000. Then in the 2024 election, it was around 71,000. But in the by-election, it was around 50,000. So when you just oppose the two numbers, 2020 and then 2024,
you see that in by-election,
there's a reduction of around 20,000.
Always. Did you look at Akwete?
Yeah, Akwete, which was
the recent one.
Akwete because it's a swing seat, so the numbers was very high. And you rightly said that during the presentation, because it's a swing seat. There was
high numbers.
High numbers, because in 2016 it was won by the MPP. In 2020 the NDC won it. Then again NPP came back to win it. Then NDC now has it back in the by-election. So it's a swing seat. When it's a swing seat, it turns out that there's a high voter turnout. But when it turns out to be a safe seat for one party, there's usually low turnout, because most people have the perception that during by-election it's always won by the party that
the incumbent,
by the incumbent. And again, the party in power always wins it. Aside maybe 2005 when Honorable Muntaka won it Honorable Muntaka won it when his party wasn't in power. It's always been won by the party in power. So when you consider all those things, and then when you look at Nima, for instance, Nima is a place that is dominated by Muslims. And when you consider that most of them were fasted, and that added up to the reason why most of them were not even coming out to vote at all. As at the numbers that we have presented to us, you have around 17,000 people coming out to vote today entirely. That means that only 34% of the total voters
turned out to vote.
Wow. The total votes, the total voters of Ayawaso East is 49,966. So only 34% came out to vote today. So that is a poor turnout. It just turns out that by-elections do have low turnout, but this one goes way too low. And when you compare this to the results that the NDC have had in Ayawaso East, it's even damaging.
Wow. That's a good analysis. Okay, I'll go to text messages and see what people are saying about the Ayawaso West Wogon election now. Okay, Fatih, what are people saying?
Right.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
Finish.
Paul.
Off you go.
So coming from Musa, he says, coming from Yalfrebi, says Mr. Musa Dankwa knows for sure his percentage win projection for Baba Jamal did not happen, but he is trying to justify that his prediction has come to pass by saying the results of Baba Jamal and Morrisanda, when combined, fall within the prediction. Idris Umar says, are the reasons why 8th country with low IQ. Tasa Tafa says, the turnout has nothing to do with winning margin. Turnouts can be low and winning margins can be high, Paul. Felix Boaben says, I think that the pose that Musa Dankwa should be involved is the level of development in both the strongholds of the NPP and NDC. And lastly, coming from Louise Benen, it says, so would the NDC accept him as a member of their side in Parliament after this negative things written about Baba Jamal? Answer.
List. Sami Boachi says, hashtag Asamankese, when you throw a ball to the wall, it will definitely bounce back to you, which tells you that karma is real. Did I hear that President Mahama is saying that the Iran-US fight will affect our economy? Look, Ghanaians don't want to hear that from him at all, because Ghana is very, very far away from these countries at war. As he stated in the SONA that The Ghanaian economy is now very well established. Meanwhile, the trained nurses are on the streets demanding for unpaid salaries for 11 months. Electricity and water bills have increased by 28%, and cocoa farmers are still not being paid. So where is the so-called stability? Lastly, Nana Nyako says, Samuel Koku Anyidoho's character ought to be examined. His conviction is definitely admirable. Over to you, Paul.
We have one more story. An interview with PSA, who has written a book on that is to be launched soon this week. Our PSA is in the studio, is going to talk to us now. So you will hear that after our story on the Ghanaian economy. We have a story on Ghanaian economy. But I'm just receiving news on my social media feed that I have to share with you viewers because of the time is coming and because of what it is about. It's as follows. Now, this is coming from Iran, and it's breaking news being reported on Iranian television and national security operation Epic Fury. It says as follows. In a chilling proclamation, the newly formed Iranian Leadership Council, Tehran has officially warned that the United States, quote, will no longer be safe, unquote, following the targeted strike of Operation Epic Fury. This statement follows President Trump's recent assertion that the big one is coming soon, and his claim that the coalition forces haven't even started, unquote, their campaign against the Islamic Republic. The Iranian warning suggests a shift toward global asymmetrical warfare as their conventional military command structure continues to face heavy bombardment. This escalation comes amidst reports of China supplying Iran with hypersonic anti-ship missiles to target U.S. carriers, and Russia's Dmitry Medvedev reminding the West of the catastrophic potential of a nuclear conflict. The security environment in the Gulf has reached a breaking point, with Qatar moving into direct kinetic engagement by shooting down 2 Iranian Su-24 aircraft. Simultaneously, the global economy is reeling from the shutdown of Saudi Arabia's Ras Tanura refinery and a complete halt of Qatari LNG production, which has already caused European gas prices to surge over 50%. As Tehran signals that American interests worldwide may now be targeted, the conflict is rapidly expanding beyond a regional dispute, with the UK, France, and Germany weighing a full entry into the war to secure maritime trade. The Iranian leadership's vow to end U.S. safety marks. The Iranian leadership's vow to end U.S. safety marks marks an ominous new chapter in what is becoming a global security crisis. Hopefully, I think the Europeans have started feeling it before we start feeling it, because perhaps they are nearer the region, or they do a lot more business with the region. So we will continue to give you. We'll continue to give you the information as we find it until this program ends. If anything comes in, I'll tell you right here. Okay, it's 15 minutes on top of the hour. Let me go back to the touch screen and tell you a very sensitive story. So I read an article from Imanis Franklin Kujo, you know. That's the Ghana Military Academy thing. You know, there's a reason why the Military Academy thing is here. You know, I have to salute the Military Academy, you know. I have to give you one salute. Viewers, do you know how to salute? Will I show you? You make your hand like this. Make your hand like this. Just make your hand like this. Put this one here, okay? Then you pick it from here. So the edge of your hand is going over your right eyebrow. So like that. Like that. You know? So when it's coming down, when you are bringing it down in slow motion, this hand is like that. Then you bring it down like this. So that's the Ghana Military Academy. Salute. Please, viewers, you get it. I'm sure some young boys are very excited. They're 21 years old. They want to salute. Like this. Like that. Like this. Like that. Correct. Okay. Now, there's something that we observed there. This is Kaisel Atofos. You would wonder why I'm bringing Ghana Military Academy logo into a photograph of President Mahama and Case Lato Forson, two very handsome men. You wonder why. Don't worry. Well, I'll get 5 minutes, I'll finish. Okay, so the story is about the ambition, the desire, and what appears to be the agenda of President Mahama and his Chancellor of the Exchequer, Hazel Ato Forson. Okay, give me the father and the son situation, and then I'll show viewers. Yes. Okay. So this is father, who is the government, and son, who is the people. This is 4 assets of the government. Okay, let me go to the other one. Do you have another one? Yes, great. Fantastic. This is very well done. So this is the father in blue, who is the government, and the child, who is the people. These are the assets of the company. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. These are assets of the government. The father controls the assets, and this is the child. So this is critically what it appears that we are going through in Ghana right now. So these assets, 1, 2, 3, 4 cars and the building, are very important for the data of the father, the government. Because if the government goes to the bank to go and borrow, whether they will get the money or not, how much money they will get or not, when they go to do Eurobond later this year, what they will get or what they will not get is determined by the assets. What are these assets? They call it, there's gold, there's cash, there's all kinds of things. The situation that Ghana finds itself right now with the case Lato Forson and President John Mahama situation is this. This child, who is the people, wants to go to this university. The father, that is the government, does not have internally generated funds, IGF. IGF can come from taxes, can come from anything. He doesn't have funds internally generated to pay for the university of this child. So the way to go is for the father to take one of these cars, take a loan on the back of one of these cars, and use that loan for the child to go to the university, which will improve the child. The child will come home with a degree, he will find a job, and he will improve the household. The child, when he goes to the university, acquires knowledge, he comes to the world, he applies the knowledge, he comes to the house, he improves the household. But before he can do that, the father who controls the assets must accept that this green car, I will take it and get a loan for you to go to university. When you come back from university and you improve the household, we can pay for the green car. That's what many fathers will do. So many Ghanaian presidents have come. Rawlings, Fourth Republic, let's limit it to Fourth Republic. Rawlings, Kufuor, Mills, John Mahama, Akufo-Addo, including John Mahama of the first time. They've all gone through the situation where they come to a point where the cocoa prices have fallen. And so they cannot pay the cocoa farmer what they promised them. What they have all done until 2026, what they've all done is that they have gone to borrow to pay the cocoa farmers so that the cocoa farmers can have something. They can concentrate on the cocoa. Hopefully, the yield of the cocoa will become more. So Ghana has moved from 300,000 tons, 500,000 tons, 600,000 tons, and in Kufuor, 1 million tons. In fact, in Akufo-Addo, so from Kufuor 1 million, we dropped a little bit. In Akufo-Addo, in 2021, we got 1 million tons again. 1 million tons of cocoa. Now, when you sell 1 million tons of cocoa, you get a lot of money. But if you sell 400,000 tons of cocoa, you might get a lot of money, but 1 million is better. So here is President Mahama and Case Lato Forson. They want to keep these assets to go and do a Euro bond, borrow money, so they can have much money to do the big push and all the pushes they want to push. Everything they want to push, they need money. They are doing expressway, Accra, Kumasi, down. Now these are personal projects that they will do. Ghanaians will benefit, but it doesn't give the Ghanaians, doesn't put food on the table. You know, Akufo-Addo gave a speech. I should have added it here. During COVID, he said that he will take the money and give it to the Ghanaian people. The economy will collapse. But as for the economy, our brains are there. We can always think about it. we can always think and see what to do. Because in any case, as he told Ghanaians, the economy that he inherited, it was going nowhere. But in 2 years, he set it up. So that's fine. So now that there's crisis, let the Ghanaian have food to eat. Reduce the Ghanaians' burden. Take the money from the assets and pay for free SHS. Let the Ghanaian benefit. Take the money from the assets and pay the cocoa farmer. When you pay the cocoa farmer, we will lose this green car. It will not be there. We may lose the yellow car, but the cocoa farmer will be satisfied. That is how, as a father, you have distributed the largesse of the state. But if the government says that, Coco, I can't borrow money for you, so me, I can't pay that money that I've started paying you. They put it in their pocket. Atufosin has gone to parliament. Everything is in his armpit. You can't do anything about it. He won't pay this. He won't pay that. He won't pay this. Anything he won't pay. Nurses, delay. Teacher, delay. They don't want to give the money to the Ghanaian people because they are saving their assets so that they will have a beautiful statistics so that they can borrow huge money, which is coming to do roads, which we all benefit and they benefit too. I used to say something about free SHS. One of the points about free SHS that must be noticed, that it is indeed a government policy where you can tell that the benefit is not going to the politician. If I'm a politician, I'm minister for roads. Tomorrow, Bawumia becomes president. Say, Paul, I don't want to become a minister for roads. Then they go and do road contract. Then they give contractor money. We always hear stories that somehow or rather, the politician may always benefit from the contractor because he gave the contractor the road. So politicians do road, they benefit. Politicians build, they benefit. But when you are giving the money to free SHS, are you the politician going to the headmaster and say, headmaster, give me kickback? What kickback is he going to give you? You are paying school fees for children. So the nobility of the free SHS policy sits in many other ways. But one other way is that one of the important ways in which the nobility of the free SHS policy sits is that it's a policy whose benefits go directly to Ghanaians. If you're a politician and you have to benefit from free SHS, then you have to just take your child there. There's no kickback. If you do a road, you get kickback. You build this, you get kickback. That's why those days in the, those of you who are not that old, in 1996, there was a big conversation, and in 2000, I think it was J.H. Mensah who did a rally and asked the people at the rally that, Rollins say why equine, Rollins say why equine you baby. And the people said, no, equine. They voted against NDC. Because we don't eat roads. Roads are to facilitate economic development, true. But where you have a system that is not willing to take the money and give to Ghanaians, then you have a problem. Where you have a system that is not willing to take the money and give to Ghanaians, then you have a problem. Let's go to Franklin Cudjoe. Let's go to Franklin Cudjoe and see what he said. Let's start with that. Let's go to Franklin Cudjoe now, quickly. All right, they'll get it for me in a bit. Okay. So Franklin Cudjoe says, focus on value chain before chasing 15-month reserve. So Ghana now has 3 or 4 month reserve. Finance Minister comes and says, oh, I now have 3 or 4 months reserve. So I'm pushing it to 15 months. That's my ambition. And his own friend, Franklin Cudjoe is a very good friend of the NDC. He says, Finance Minister, stop that. President of Imani, Franklin Cudjoe, has criticized the government over its plan to ramp up Ghana's international reserve, urging instead a sharper focus on strengthening domestic value chain. His comments come in response to the finance minister's announcement on Wednesday, 25 February, that Ghana aims to raise its gross international reserve from 5.7 months of import cover at the end of 2025 to 15 months by 2028. The plan hinges on weekly gold purchases of 3.2 tons, projected to generate annual gross receipts of 25.28 billion, according to official figures. Franklin Cudjoe slams NPP over economic record, rejects revisionist narrative. However, during an interview on City FM on Saturday, Cudjoe stressed that while the finance minister is pushing to build reserves for 15 months of import cover by 2028, the money could be better spent shoring up the economy's value chain loopholes. He says, Ato is forcing, we know, but we also need to let him understand that if he goes on this path of trying to accumulate a lot of reserves, because I hear he says something like that for 15 months, it is better to use the money to plug all the holes in the value chain, Cudjoe said, before the 133 plan, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Why is the finance minister, who has changed the price of cocoa, you tell cocoa farmers that you will pay them 3,600 at the beginning of the cocoa season. Morally, morally, ethically, you should not change it before the end of the cocoa season. You are Ghana. You have so much gold. How much do cocoa farmers need? They need 1 billion cedis, isn't it? No, they need 11 billion cedis. So $1 billion. You are selling gold for billions and billions and billions, but you prefer to keep the money so that your statistics look good. Your inflation is at 3. You are not giving the farmers money. How are they going to buy anything? How are they going to chase goods for inflation? You are not giving contractors money. How are they going to chase goods for inflation? Atuforsen and President Mahama, they keep the inflation at 3. They keep the dollar at 10. They want nice figures. You can go to hell. You can die. They said they will pay you 3.6. They look at it. Charlie, the 3.6 we can't pay. We are not interested in you cocoa farmers. We are interested in our statistics. You know that in August we are doing Eurobond. We want to go and raise money. If we start giving you the money, our figures will not look good. We can't raise the money. Akufo-Addo said, we know how to bring back an economy, but we don't know how to bring people's lives back. The cocoa farmers' lives, what are they going to do? President Mahama said that he's a cocoa farmer. I don't know whether he was joking. If you are a cocoa farmer and you've been told that you will earn 3,600 from your cocoa bags, and then you organize the cocoa bags and you get 50 cocoa bags, and then you are told that you sell one for 3,600. You sell the first 10 for 3,600. You are going to sell the 11. They say, oh, no, the price has come to 2.5. You're going to buy a land. You have taken your child to school. Your child has finished free SHS. He's now gone to engineering school in Takwa. You want him to become an electrical engineer. This is the money that you were going to use to pay. You are killing people. But here we were in the country, calling Akufo-Addo names. He who said, I will give you the money to survive. As for the economy, I know how to bring it back, because when you die, I don't know what to do. What we are seeing with this government currently is that they don't really care. They are interested in their statistics. They don't want to take their money and give it to Ghanaians. So if you are TUC and you go on strike, forget it. It's not going to happen. So your minimum wage, they dropped it, and TUCs shouted some more. They finished with them. As for NDC, you have to trust them. NDC, they know how to do these things. They know how to keep the people quiet. Those who talk a lot, they know how to keep them quiet. Oh, NDC can do some. You see, when President Mahama finished the session address, the social media, he's great. He's fantastic. I gave him 92%. I've never seen session address like this before. It's NDC. They are fantastic at those things. They know how to keep people quiet. Few people quiet. But you can't do that. The young people are rising. We can't do that. The resources are to be managed to the benefit of the Ghanaian people. It's not to create statistics for a minister of finance who wants to be president desperately and an executive president who is in power. No, it's not. The statistics is not. It's not like that. It's not for them. It is so that the Ghanaian people are fed. It is so that the Ghanaian people build their talent. It is so that the Ghanaian people get the environment with which they can build themselves. That's what it is for. That's what the management of our resources is for. It's not to manage statistics. So we won't pay anything so that we have dollar at 10. We won't pay anything. So we will actually reduce the price of cocoa farmers. So in this era, NDC has paid cocoa farmers 3,600. They have paid. But now they say they won't pay that anymore. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Where is the military academy? Did you get me the anchor hold thing? I'll go to the video. Don't worry. I'll go to the video as the last bit of the things that we say. You have the thing. So in the military academy, is the concluding part. In the military academy, they have an anthem. Okay, they have an anthem, and they sing the Christian anthem. What is it? Will your anchor hold in that? Will your anchor hold? Now, when they get to this line, the second stanza, this is how they say it in the military. Will your eyes behold the graduation scroll? They say, will your eyes behold the graduation scroll? We have an anchor that keeps the scroll. We have an anchor that keeps the scroll. Service, devotion, and sacrifice. Service, devotion, and sacrifice. Then they say, GMS mission will I endure. GMS mission will I endure. Grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love. NDC, will your anchor hold? Will the NDC's anchor hold? In the military, how do they let their anchor hold? Service, devotion, and sacrifice. This is how every politician's anchor will hold. If you talk the policy, if you make the promises, and you come into government as a politician, please remember at the back of your mind, always remember that the people have put you there, and what they deserve is your service, your devotion, and your sacrifice, just like the Ghana Military Academy. I leave it here. Service, devotion, and sacrifice. GMA's mission will I endure. This is what I like. Will your eyes behold the graduation scroll? We have an anchor that keeps the scroll. Service, devotion, and sacrifice. Service, devotion, sacrifice. That's the GMS mission. Okay, let's go straight to PSA and see. Let me salute it again. Okay, I give one. Yeah, that's for the GMA. If you've forgotten the salute, go like this. Thank you. PSA, good evening. Welcome to the studio. Sorry to have kept you so long. Let's talk about your book, which is Advancing Right-Wing Political Philosophy, isn't it?
Sure.
Tell us about it. What's the title of it?
Echoes from the Doyen.
Purpose?
Echoes. From the Doyen.
Oh, from the Doyen. Are you referring to Dr. Dankwa?
Yeah, J.B. Dankwa.
Yes.
To Ghana and Africa.
Great. So what is in the book?
This book extensively reveals Dr. Dankwa's contribution to Ghana's independence struggle and the founding of Ghana, and also the relevance of his vision and ideology in modern Ghana and Africa.
So, are you writing about his law, his politics, his culture? What is it about?
Yeah. About his law, his politics, his culture. For instance, Dr. Dankwa termed his cultural values as Ghanaism, whereby he believed that the African believed in God, believed in the loyalty to state, believed in the individual sovereignty, believed in family and humanism, and advocated that modern Ghana should be built upon these 5 pillars. He was also interested in our heritage, and in fact that is what he used to break tribal and ethnic barriers with the concept that we all migrated from the ancient Ghana Empire, and because of the common ancestral root, he was able to build tribal unity among the states of the Gold Coast, and that led to the unity of the Northern Territories, the Ashanti, and then the Gold Coast coming together as one. And according to him, that built us into a homogeneous state. So looking at the flag of Ghana, many people are not aware that Dr. Dankwa contributed in the colors we are using today as our national flag.
The red, yellow, green?
The red, yellow, green. And it is the Ethiopian colors. In other words, we're trying to portray our African ancestry and the African heritage. So Dr. Dankwa spoke more or wrote more on the culture of Ghana and Africa. And in this Ghana month, I believe it is the best time to celebrate his heritage on the contribution he played as far as our cultural heritage is concerned. He also believed that we had an economic philosophy even before the white man came. That is a system that gave opportunities to all and also gave liberty to the individual. In other words, he didn't believe in a system whereby the government controlled the economy and sabotaged individual energies, and therefore advocated that government should empower individuals to create their own trade and businesses. And that brought a conflict between him and his political opponent, whereby they believed that government should control trade and the commerce of the people. But Dr. Dankwa traced this free enterprise, individual sovereignty to the ancient African culture, that the kings did not control the market. They gave the liberty to the people. He wanted to see many Ghanaians rise to be business moguls like Bill Gates. That was his concept. So he wants to see a Ghanaian own a company like MTN. He wants to see a Ghanaian rise on a large scale. Whereas Nkrumah at the time limited a Ghanaian to a small-scale enterprise, Dr. Dankwa advocated that Ghanaians should rise to the large-scale enterprise. So looking at the economy of Ghana today, I believe that if we should advocate more for Dr. Dankwa's legacy, we'll have more Ghanaian businesses controlling the market of Ghana, and that will serve in the interest of Ghana and Africa. And also, Dr. Dankwa's advocate for the rule of law, constitutional governance. And we are in an era that the younger generation seem to believe that democracy is not working for Africa. I think democracy can work for Africa if we follow the precept that Dr. Dankwa laid. If you think that you've just gone for an election and you just voted people into power and that is all what democracy is about, Dr. Dankwa says no. Dr. Dankwa says that democracy can excel if we stop this party is supreme, whereby the party in power wants to control everything. They want to control employment. They want to control everything that pertains to the activities of the country. Dr. Dankwa propagated that, for instance, members of parliament should be more loyal to their constituencies and to the nation, not to the parties. But what we see in this Fourth Republic is that members of parliament are more loyal to their political parties than their constituencies and the nation. Dr. Dankwa says that these undermine democracies. So the book explains in detail some of the things that he stood for as far as democracy is concerned. And also, he was very much interested in education. And he wanted the kind of education that people are aware of what is in their environment. In other words, Dr. Dankwa will not be happy that a child in Ghana is studying about something that relates to the American environment or the Japanese environment, but rather should study things that can help the child solve the problems in his or her environment. And he believed in youth in governance or youth in politics. That is how come he brought in Akwaje, who was about 32 years then, to be an executive member of the UGCC, and that led to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah also coming on board. All these people were young. Nkrumah was at the age of 38 at the time he was made the secretary of the UGCC. So that shows Dr. Dankwa's belief in the youth as far as nation building is concerned. And even when Nkrumah left the UGCC, Dr. Dankwa finds K. Buzia helps him to rise to become the leader of the Ghana Congress Party. At the time, Buzia was 39 years. So Dankwa's belief in the youth leadership is something I believe that our generation needs to know, so that the youth can also rise to help build a first-class Ghana. So briefly, that is what my book is talking about.
So was it launched?
No.
When is the launch so we can attend?
The launch is tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic.
At the British Council.
British Council Hall, yes.
Yes.
Who is performing the launch?
His Excellency, former President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Where can we get copies to buy after that?
EPP and Kingdom Bookshop.
EPP and Kingdom?
Yes.
Okay. Kingdom at the University of Ghana and Kingdom everywhere. All right. Thank you very much. Pati, can you do the LPM last one for us and then we can close this after 11?
Right. So, Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter toothpaste. Every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing every morning and evening with Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter is fortified with profluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. This prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsodent's Cavity comes in 175 grams big family pack, and they have the Jaqua pack, that's the 120 gram, and the 65 and 12 gram sachets. So you can always get what you can afford at any time. Don't just use toothpaste that brush your teeth, use Pepsodent that protect your teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. So you can call on 0800-161-000 to talk to a dentist for free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll free 0800-2000-30. Pepsodent, every smile matters. About Sipo.
Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much, viewers. And basically, what's your last word? British Council, what time?
5 o'clock.
5 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be there. We'll be there to see the launch. And thanks, viewers, for watching. Good night.
Start your kids' day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, is that you?
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso union.
Sasso, come tum preko.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Chaco's natural ingredients, and a bomb is a hobby, a man is swing, and a sansu mama hotter so a will beg you.
Kel Chaco toothpaste. Choose Kel Chaco toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Can he tee up someone in red? And it goes to
Do not say!
That's who goal is for. I got 5 Champions League. You want to know?
I be the real goat, Chairman.
I'm the real goat.
The left magician, the left magician.
Who is the goat? Ghana Jollof or Nigerian Jollof?
Ghana Jollof has no co-equal. The smell alone. Oh my God. For that shift. You two they lie. Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put on for top. You are lying. Ghana Jollof.
Are you busy? Forget everybody. Yeah.
My guy.
Put some respect on the goat.
On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tama.
Every year we dey give to you back to back.
We are talking about BET. I want some Yadiaji face.
Except be the goat, huh?
My guy, he be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomovitus always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Dignitati homino, dignitati homino, true dignity of men. in all the world. Dignitati homino, dignitati homino, true dignity of men in all the world. To next year will be 70 years, and there will be a lot of activities this year to pre-mark. Yes, pre-mark. There's 70 yes, but St. Peter's, the focus is infrastructure. So more dormitories, more classrooms, and you have to work hard. Yes. And recently, the Minister of Education. Oh, St. Peter's, a hard work will take it. You know, recently the Minister of Education commended St. Peter's for being one of the few schools to go on a single track, because we are building more infrastructure. So now single track, no more. So on this note, I have to mention some key people who are doing their best so that we get more infrastructure. First, I must commend the current headmaster, Reverend Father Bulu. Then our global president, His Lordship, Appeals Court Judge David Adade-Boafo. He's the global president now. And our board chairman, Nana Wadie, and also one